on.
Fun?
We don't need the headphones until we bring Victoria on.
Okay.
What they look like.
All right, you're live, gentlemen.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good later evening to all our friends and family, our audience in the US of A, in England, in Scotland, and Central Europe. This is Paul and Ian's one-man show. We're going live again with a totally different show. We've already got Paul, who is doing our social distance thing here. Is that okay? Okay, shall I just let that go? Okay, you're fine?
Yep,
Fine?
we're fine.
You're fine? We're fine. We're ready to go. Okay, this is we're Paul and Ian's one-man show. This is another brand new edition. The last one was something really special. We did a world premiere of a Dalibor Petru show. A new play by him in a critic circle. It was something that had never been done before, we're telling everybody. Okay, we have done 6 of these shows now, and we are back in our old home, the studio. How do you feel, Paul?
Back in Shadowbox.
Back in Shadowbox.
We're Zoomless.
We're Zoomless. We are on something special. In the intervening time, we've set up a YouTube channel. We've set up our webpage, paulandian.com, and we've set up a PayPal account, and there will be buttons you can see somewhere where you can press if you want to give us some money. We have been supported in the lockdown by a grant from Man Bites Dog Theatre Foundation, and our business sponsor, the Family Dental Practice of Dr. Celeste Sloop in Chapel Hill. They've been supporting us this past year for getting these shows on the road, and we're running out of money. So we need to get some money in the coffers. So anytime that you can donate.
How much did you spend on that jacket?
This is my game show host jacket from Have You Got a Clue or a Penny to Ride, which did 3 episodes back in the 1860s. So here we are back in. Normally, it's a bit strange because this place would be packed, wouldn't it, Paul? If we were doing a live show, it would be packed, absolutely packed. Some of our old friends would be here, Betsy Shaw, people like that, you know. We also have got people returning from Europe. Seamus Fides in Norwich, England, will be here. I saw that Pete Harrop was on the list of guests. You know, he might have thought better of it by now, of course. But anyway, we thank everybody for turning up. We're back to doing a sort of regular show, which is us looking at things that have been in the news for the first half hour or so. We've got special guests coming in. Roberta Bennett is back with us. She's our intrepid roving reporter. Those of you who have been there from the beginning, can you remember her in Pennsylvania?
I remember her
Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia. I remember her in Bethlehem.
In Bethlehem.
In Florida.
And in Florida.
And today she's in Appalachia.
And Appalachia today. This is a roving reporter, and she gets all over the place. She was the first one to break the news that the Rudy Giuliani press conference was in fact done from an urban desert outside a pawn shop, Fantasy Island in Philadelphia. So she was there for that, to break that news. And of course, for the Christmas show, she was live from Bethlehem.
So why don't we go live now to Roberta Bennett?
Yeah, let's bring her to see where she is now.
We'll put it on our high tech.
Oh yeah, this is so cool.
Hello, hello, hello.
Give us a bit more information, visualization in your background.
Hi, there. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
All right.
Whereabouts?
You know, you guys, I'm here in Asheville, North Carolina. Here. I'm here to interview a YouTube influencer that's been making a lot of headlines lately. You've heard about her? Her name's Meghan Markle.
Oh, right. Yes. Yes. We've heard of Meghan Markle.
Yep.
You haven't got Meghan Markle
Well,
there.
yeah, the YouTube influencer. Yeah, I have the YouTube influencer, Meghan Markle. I'm here at her Airstream trailer.
Yes.
You know, we have lots of questions for her. Trying to figure out, you know, exactly what her situation is. So, you know, if you guys are ready, I'll go ahead and, you know, get you ready to start the interview.
Before you start, could you just explain to us what an influencer is? What?
So, you know, it's really more of a Gen Z thing. So my understanding of what an influencer is basically somebody who has a loud, vibrant personality that's able to get followers. So people are just interested in who they are and their personality, and then sponsors get involved and they get sponsorships, and then that is the way that it gets passed along to their public. So basically they're just people that, you know, other people want to watch, and they have something. Yeah. And I mean, there's a range, but, you know, it's a good secondary passive source of income. You know, you can make tons of money doing this, but there are obviously lots of people out there trying.
We're in the wrong business, Paul.
Well, we influence quite a few people, I believe.
Yeah. Can you bring her on? We're
So now you just need sponsors.
Yeah. Bring her in. We're interested.
You ready?
Yeah, there she goes.
Mm.
She lives in a trailer.
Hi.
Hi.
How
are you?
Okay. Hi. And
Hi.
I guess we're also on camera over here as well.
I'm just live streaming this for my followers. Hi guys. Hey. How are you?
Do you want to go ahead and sit down, and we'll? Are you gonna be doing that the
Are you
whole
okay
time?
if I just set this up over here too?
Sure.
Okay. They might have questions for me as well.
So, tell me, how did you end up in an Airstream trailer? Tell me about this.
You know, Roberta, it's really funny. I was actually working at the Ball in Knoxville. I don't know if you've heard of it before.
Have you heard of the Ball?
The Ball?
The Ball in Knoxville? Is that like a theater?
Yeah, I did perform every night. They tipped really well. So you know, it was a hard job, and honestly, when this pandemic hit, I didn't believe it. You know, you didn't believe
the pandemic was a thing?
I didn't believe in it. I was not wearing a mask. You know, men would come into work and, you know, we're really pretty exposed there, and I just didn't think that it was a real thing. So, you know, that's kind of what I was doing before here.
Okay.
But as you can see, I got really inspired by the one and only Dolly Parton.
Okay.
All the work she's done with the vaccine really got me interested in just coming down here and just showing everyone, you know, hi guys, my whole life that I've started. And we've actually been vaccinating everyone in the trailer park.
You've been vaccinating?
I'm vaccinating them. Did you know that you're just allowed to go out and vaccinate people? You don't need like a degree.
I don't know that that's true.
Yeah, you can just go out. Like, I have the vaccines back in the and people have just been coming up, so we just go ahead and vaccinate them.
Which type of vaccine do you have?
I think it's like the Pfizer one.
And so you have like the refrigeration system for that?
No, there's no energy in the van. We're electricity free.
I'm pretty sure you have to keep that vaccine at a specific temperature. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it is, and actually, it was Dolly Parton. Was the other the vaccine?
Yeah, that was the Moderna, I think, right?
The Moderna, yeah.
I don't know.
So,
I thought they were all the same.
So you're not refrigerating this vaccine that you're giving to people?
No. I didn't
How much is she charging?
Yeah, how much are you charging?
It's free. It's free. I just went to the hospital and I found the boxes out back. they weren't charging anything. So, and he was right to charge others.
and-
I get enough money from my followers and subscribers that I really don't need the extra cash inflow.
So how exactly? So they have a lot of questions about just like what an influencer is and how you make money. So how are you making money?
Well, honestly, people are just really interested in what I'm doing. Like, everybody wants to know what my skincare routine is. So I just go out and I just tell people, what we're up to down here. If you're wondering, I'm really into the Korean products. They're really great for your skin. People have been following my story. I think it's really, I think I'm honestly be inspirational. And honestly, Dolly Parton, I think she'd be really proud of what I'm doing. And I think that brings in a lot of the cash flow and why people are.
So do all these followers just like send you money like on your like Venmo or like do you have sponsors?
But if anyone's wondering what my Venmo handle is, it's just Meghan Markle at dollyparton.com.
Okay, so do you have any sponsors?
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Mm-hmm.
So you know her?
Of course. She lives here.
She does?
Yeah.
Can you? I mean, I'd love to meet Dolly.
Oh no, she's on Whitewater Rafting right now. She's busy.
Okay, well apparently that
She
is
doesn't make appearances anymore.
that is how you influence. You
Roberta.
become friends with Dolly Parton. Yeah.
Roberta, can I ask another question? And could
Yes.
Megan speak slowly because I'm 72 years old? Okay, but
Yes.
she's not the Meghan Markle, and it's not the Dolly Parton, is it?
I mean, so the Dolly Parton that lives here, is that the same Dolly Parton on your shirt?
Sure is. She's blonde. She's got some pretty big boobs. I'm pretty sure it's her.
And how much money has she given you?
I mean, she bought this whole van. She's got to be rich, right?
Have you heard her sing?
She's pretty shy.
She's shy.
She's
I
pretty
mean,
shy. Yeah.
the Dolly Parton that I'm familiar with is not very shy, but
Yeah.
maybe.
The more I've gotten to know her, she's really a pretty shy gal.
So this is the trailer park Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
I see. There you go. And Megan can hear you. So if you have a direct question, you can ask her.
Yeah. Okay. Megan.
Yeah.
How much money have you made this last week?
I don't know that that's a very polite question.
Well, no, you don't have to be precise. Just a general ballpark. Are you able to live, put money away, take vacation?
I have a safe out back. Yeah, I actually have a safe out back right behind this trailer that I've been storing some cash away for a rainy day. So it's been pretty good. I've been able to, keep up the free vaccination clinic with that business, and honestly, I'm making way more than I used to in town. So I'm pretty happy with that.
And I assume it's. How would you say that it compares in the amount of like time and energy and work, stripping versus influencing?
Honestly, it's more work just because, I'm constantly having to put out more content. That's really where the money comes from, is people just want to know what I'm doing 24 hours a day. I eat, sleep, go to the bathroom. I'm always putting out content, and people just love watching me. So it's really been quite the adventure. I think the name precedes itself, but people really want to know what I'm up to, what I'm doing down here. And honestly, I think we're pretty close to solving this pandemic. I think we've gotten pretty close.
You are? You're close to solving the pandemic?
Yes.
I mean, single-handedly vaccinating the trailer park. You probably should look into the refrigeration system.
Now that you mention that, I feel like it says something about keeping it cool on the box, but I can't read.
Okay, well, I'll help you before you. Do you have a Prince Harry in your life?
I think we all sort of have a Prince Harry, if you know what I mean. But there is a prince right now. You could call him Harry, if you wanted. You know, he's
Do I want to though? Is he like Harry or?
I mean, he keeps it pretty clean, but you know, there's a Prince Harry in my life, I would say. You know, I'm thinking about, you know, where we're gonna go from here. We're having a little hard time with our family right now, so things have been a little bit rocky. You know, but you know, I would say on the DL, still a pretty good relationship there.
Well, Roberta, can you
Yes.
thank Megan for her time? And
Absolutely. Thank you.
we will we'll look out to hear more from her. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you follow her? Subscribe to her channel. You can see her eating, drinking, going to the bathroom, and everything else in between.
Yeah. Paul.
Thank you, Roberta, for enlightening us about what an influencer does. I think she's had a lot of influence on us right now.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think I can say that that was a lot of information I didn't really need to have, but now I've got it. I can look out for it. I mean, it's a very modern thing. I feel very modern.
Speaking of modern, you know who we have on next?
No, tell me.
You've heard about the Nike shoes that the artist,
Oh yes.
with the Devil's Generations, and Nike is suing them. They supposedly have a drop of blood
right.
in the shoes.
Yes.
But we have another artist who has gotten into trouble for a similar thing.
Really?
Yes.
And that is
The artist formerly known as Dante.
the artist formerly known as Dante. And what kind of an artist is he? He's
He is an underwear artist.
an underwear artist. That's fantastic. And here he is now, Dante.
Hello.
Dante, could you tell us just a little bit about your current art project?
Yes, well, Dante does not sit idle during COVID. I mean, after mastering stage in every form, it was time to, express myself creatively in another way. And I said, what is an untapped market? And I said underwear. Okay?
You said underwear.
Underwear. And specifically, I've come up with underwear bling, okay? Because your underwear should look as fun on the outside as what you've got on the inside. You see? And this is my signature piece here, right? Real shiny. These are genuine faux crystal diamond L's. This is a $79.99 piece. And it see, look how it just catches the light. It's amazing. And then also, like, if you're patriotic, support your country. Doesn't have to be the U.S., whatever flag of whatever country you're in. And then I call this the feeling lucky, right? Feeling lucky in your luckies.
The horseshoes.
Exactly.
So artist formerly known as Dante, we've heard that you're kind of getting in trouble, that you've been sued by the Hanes Underwear Company.
That's what I hear. I'm not really paying a lot of attention to it because I don't feel like I've done anything wrong. I've enhanced their product. I mean, Hanes does something good, fine, but I'm making it better. I mean, why wear pants if you're wearing these, right? Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I don't know what their beef is.
Well, we've heard that also, like the Nike shoes with the blood in them. Mm-hmm. That you are incorporating certain bodily fluids into your underwear. Is that true?
I experimented with several fluids and I had, mixed success. I just felt like the bling was the way to go because you could really customize it with whatever flair you want to be. I felt like there was too many variables in the fluids.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, I've heard a rumor that you have a special non-fungible thing. What's it called?
Token.
Huh?
A token.
A non-fungible token, of which there will only be one, and it's the golden gusset. The golden gusset. Can you explain the concept behind the golden gusset?
Well, I mean, we're still working out the hydraulic portion of it, which is really tricky, and then how to incorporate that into a pair of underwear. So I really can't expand too much. It's really deep in R&D. And so there's not a lot to say. I mean, there's levers and switches, and it's a fairly complex pair of underwear, but I think it's going to put underwear, it's the Tesla of underwear. I'm going to be honest. It's that good. It's that
Really?
good. Yeah.
Really?
So
That's quite a claim.
You know, I
Right.
never thought that underwear was fungible in the first place.
Exactly. Now, Dante, or artist formerly known as, we hate to put this up, but we do have on another line, we have Hiram J. Searsucker, who is an intellectual property lawyer who is working for the Haynes Corporation, and I believe he has some problems with your artwork.
Okay.
Get him on. Here he is. Hiram J. Searsucker. Welcome. Can you just tell us a little bit about your concerns with the artist formerly known as Dante's?
Yes, thank you very much. I am Hiram J. Searsucker with the firm of Searsucker, and Beelzebub.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
We have been contacted by the Haynes Corporation, and it's such a big thing. We also have been contacted by these people as well.
What is that? The first of
Right.
So all the
Haynes
underwear,
versus-
Haynes, Fruit of the Loom, they're all against this. Underwear should be white and plain, no bling on the underwear. Do you really want anything like a flag or a horseshoe near your privates?
I want a lot of things near my privates, and it should be up to me and the user what they should have near their parts. White is boring.
So are you
No,
defending
no,
the
no,
white
I do not
industry
want stuff like that.
underwear?
I mean, I like things in my privates. I do. But I don't want a horseshoe on my privates. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. And that other thing we were talking about, that what do they call Google Gobble? Or that's no, nothing. I just want plain white underwear.
So you're defending white patriarchal underwear.
I'm defending white. Yes. We just need white plain underwear in the
Just
world.
wanted to get that clear.
Probably tidy whitey.
You are sponsored. You want white supremacy underwear. Is that what you're saying, Mr.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
You want white supremacy in the underwear.
Wait, hold on a second.
My underwear is all inclusive.
No, I'm sorry.
Everyone can wear it.
We don't. No. I'm sorry. No white supremacy on underwear. I'm sorry. We want diverse underwear. We want diverse underwear. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Well,
Diversity in underwear.
Isn't the artist formerly known as Dante? Isn't he actually diversifying the underwear by enhancing them?
Well, he's diversing them. He's enhancing them, but the enhancements are a little bit too much. I mean, again, would you like to have a horseshoe rubbing against your privates?
Well, I don't want to judge that for other people. You know, whatever they want, they can have, surely.
Or would you
think
want?
we've
Well, Paul, you agreed months ago to be a tester for all of the models of underwear. I need you to step up.
Paul,
Well,
you
I have
Shit.
to admit, I admire the artistic effort in it, but I have a rash now.
Okay, well,
my
I
case,
think-
my case.
I think agreeing to be a tester was rash in itself. But
Right.
let me
Well,
ask, let me
there
ask you
is.
this.
I do
Mr.
sell a
Searson.
soothing balm
Mr. Se-
that comes with all underwear.
Yeah, Mr. Searsucker, your clients have already taken their profit from the former artist formerly known as Dante's underwear, and he is creating something new.
Yes.
Yes, we have done that. And we're willing to make an agreement with Mr. Artist formerly known as Dante to share in the profits of his new endeavor.
So
Because
you want to double dip in your underwear?
I want to
double
double dip
dip.
in my underwear. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Nothing better
Well-
than double dipping underwear.
Yeah. All right. Now, let me come to the artist formerly known as Dante. You have taken on the Haynes Corporation.
Mhm.
The Haynes Corporation, which is a local. Hang on, these headsets. I'm really flustered now by this because we've got a problem here with the things. I don't know what's happening.
Underwear
Hang
is
on.
a natural
just-
thing, Paul. Just
Look at it. You
relax.
can see we're live. Now, let me ask you this. Who are you willing to take on next? Artist formerly known as Dante. This is a pair of Calvin Kleins with suitably protruding package at the front. What would you do with these then, huh? What would you do with these?
What would I do with them? I mean, there are dozens of things you can do. I mean, we even have, like, hold on a second here. Like, if you're in a community organization, we've got bling to go on that, right? If you're an elk, right? And if you're into tiki, you got that. I mean, there's so many ways to express. The white underwear is just a canvas in which to express yourself.
But
So how
are
I
you
do it-
prepared to take on Calvin Klein?
Every one of them. They're all evil corporate people that are suppressing creativity.
I
I
would
am
say-
offended by that. I'm totally offended by that. We're just trying to
Yes,
make men happy in their white underwear.
How can a
I
black
think the
man
Haynes
support white underwear?
I think the
am
Haynes
just-
Corporation is low-hanging fruit.
I think with that, we should move on to our next guest.
Okay, well, I will leave it there. Thank you, Hiram J. Searsucker, and the artist formerly known as Dante.
I'm ready.
Thank you.
I'm ready.
Well,
What are you saying about that then, Paul? Would you have that? You offered to help test some of that underwear?
it was one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made.
Yeah.
I've thought of maybe going commando ever since.
Really? Well, that is very interesting. So I think that is maybe a completely separate and neutral opinion on it. You're not siding with the Haynes Corporation?
I'm just
I thought that was a good point about the white supremacy of the underwear. Well, this is what these large corporations do. They have something which is about whiteness, and what do? They get an African American lawyer to come on and plead their case.
Ian, to tell you the truth, I don't like any of these big corporations. I buy all my underwear from this new used underwear website called
Yes.
Brownstein's.
Brownstein's.
Yeah,
Brownstein's.
yes.
Well, I think that we have to say that we are undeterred by these things, just like a skid mark.
I think now we should go overseas. I think
All right, yeah, just to bring back some
sense of normalcy.
sense of normalcy.
I mean, we've heard from an influencer. We've heard from an underwear artist. Now we're going to go to our intrepid European correspondents, Hannah and Gregor.
Yeah, Gregor in Edinburgh, Scotland, is there with us.
Hello. I have to interrupt you there for a moment, please, because
what's the news from Edinburgh?
well, just to interrupt you, I'm not Gregor. This is Roger G. I'm having to use a pseudonym for the moment because, as you probably know, we're in a period of national mourning, and we're in as I'm wearing black, as all correspondents are required to wear in this period of national mourning. I've had my fortifying dinner of sackcloth, ashes, bread, and water, and I'm afraid I can't actually appear in my own persona because of this, because this is actually breaking regulations. So please call me Roger G. That's who I have to be today.
What does the G stand for?
It's an anagram.
An anagram.
An anagram, Roger G.
Read it backwards, gents.
Roger G. Egg grog.
It's Gregor backwards, for heaven's sakes.
Oh, but we're Americans. We don't get.
I'm sorry, but I don't think you can really understand the gravitas of the situation. We are dukeless here in Edinburgh. Our duke has died, and the last time that happened, 107 years ago, we were plunged into World War I. Now, I mean, please, this is a moment of deep gravity and deep danger to the world. 107 years ago, and as numerologists will understand, that's 10 and 7, and 10 and 7 makes 17, and that's a very important number, because I have breaking news for you from Edinburgh today. We know now who Q is.
My God.
Q.
Yes, I can bring this to you. As for many years now, there's been a growing understanding that the QAnon movement must be being controlled and organized from outside the United States. China, Russia, even Cuba have been proposed as the states behind the Q conspiracy. However, experts on Reddit and Quora have always suspected the organization of being a fifth column attempt to win back the USA by her old imperial mistress. Now, there's some proof for this, and let me tell you what the people on the internet have been saying. The headquarters for British intelligence is a circular, donut-shaped building clearly seen in aerial images just outside Cheltenham. However, when you tilt 17 degrees from true north, it lines up on a direct axis to Washington, D.C., and it becomes clear that the building is shaped in a Q. And what is the name of British signal intelligence? GCHQ. Q-shaped buildings are going up around the world, with many of them hiding their tail underground in parking structures to avoid detection. The Apple building in Cupertino is a similar donut-shaped building, but when it is offset 17 degrees from north, the entrance roads turn it, the O, the donut, into a Q. And need I remind you that Johnny Ives, the power behind the throne at Apple and the man responsible for all the designs of all Apple's world-dominating products, is British. Look around you, people. They're already among you. Ian, you're a member of the fifth column of imperialists, and you're already here bending America to the plans of Q. For instance, agents on Q are behind the #1 show on Netflix, The Crown. Your recent president was proud of his association with the royal and ancient UK. And why is it that the country never changed its name from UK to UQ? So who is Q? Well, breaking news has just confirmed what has long been expected. The consort to Q, the man responsible for operation responsibility of the hidden forces of Q, has just died, plunging the whole of this Qdom into a period of mourning. And in a typical example of Q's tactic of hiding the truth in plain sight, the date designated for the funeral of the Duke of Edinburgh is April the 17th, 417. The 17th letter of the alphabet is the letter Q. 4Q.
Gregor,
there we go. There we have it. Q is the queen.
Gregor, you're frightening me now.
I'm bringing you the truth as I see it in Edinburgh.
I have a question for Roger G. So are you saying the consort of this dead Duke. What's her title again?
The
the
Queen. Q.
Q.
Yeah,
Queen.
Queen.
I've often suspected that.
Yeah, well,
Well, let's go to our other European analyst.
yeah, Hannah Z.
So
Have you heard of this?
Oh, absolutely. And first of all, Roger G., I would like to express my condolences to you personally and your nation, because we do know what it feels like, because obviously the Duke assassinated previously that you have referred to, that was our Duke, actually. So,
I know,
the
we
historical
we
memory
share
of
so much.
the loss is still there, and that actually is the reason I'm wearing yellow, because my yellow together with your black obviously refers to the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, and so I just found it proper. And here, actually, the breaking news of Q has not made it so far east. At this moment, I expect it to arrive at about 3 p.m. tomorrow, if it travels the usual speed of breaking news. But we have, the Czech nation has indeed been mourning as well. There is a slight problem because unlike the British audience, most Czechs only go or have just one source of the life of the Duke of Edinburgh, and that's the famous series The Crown. It's even being referred to by the TV reporters when talking about Prince Philip. And so while half of the nation is mourning, the other half keeps their cool because they're just waiting for the Duke of Edinburgh to regenerate any minute now, because that's what Time Lords do, obviously.
Great.
Yeah,
Response to Hannah.
We are joint in our dukedom loss. We are very aware of the depths of feeling that the Balkans and the people of the Balkans feel for us in losing our Duke. But as I said, this is a very dangerous time. I mean, losing a Duke in the way that the Edinburgh has lost its Duke, it can lead to catastrophic effects, as we saw in 1914, which, as I said, was 107 years ago, but numerologists would say 17. And again, the 17th letter of the alphabet is Q. And here we are pointing the finger very directly at who the leader of that shadowy organization is, and while we feel for her great loss, and losing her lieutenant, as it were, the lieutenant of everything that she does, it must be pointed out that really the attempt to overthrow the American government that we have seen from the agents of Q has to be exposed, because while we mourn the loss every 4th of July, I know that date means something different to you in America, but over here it's loss of Empire Day. And while we mourn very deeply on the 4th of July, I don't think we want you back. And really the agents of Q should stop.
Going back to Hannah, when you think about it, when the last Duke died in 1914, led to the modern state of Czechoslovakia in just a few years later.
Yeah.
So they should be rejoicing that the Duke is dead. Maybe better things are ahead.
Hannah?
Well, this is problematic, because while you are correct, there certainly are many monarchists. I think the last count was 800, actually, who are not so sure this was a good idea. So there is some support for the reconstitution of constitutional monarchy, and we shall see how that develops, seeing as many people are a bit unhappy with our current political situation, and we almost had a member of aristocratic family elected president. There might be some surprises there in the near future. Also, I should add that Prince Philip was by far the most popular member of the British royal family here in Czechia, especially among the ruling class. By ruling class, obviously, I mean elderly men. And they saw him as a grand model because they have been somewhat nervous about the recent development of the world turning to political correctness and giving rights to everyone who asks for them, etc., etc. So it has been remembered with great love and admiration that the Duke of Edinburgh, as a newspaper headline said, had his uncontrollable sense of humor. He offended everyone from an African native to Madonna, which is something that our ruling class greatly admires. So that's another aspect of our national feelings for the late Duke of Edinburgh.
Well, we've certainly been educated today on a Duke that honestly never enters my mind and hasn't since about 1959.
Well, I'm still frightened. I'm still frightened. I think we are at a moment of flux, and if we don't get it right, we're all going to be fluxed completely.
You know, I do have another question going back to Roger G. I know that the bookmakers in the UK hold a lot of sway. So I wonder what the over-under is now on how long Queen with the Q is going to live. Can you bet that?
Well, that's a very pertinent question that we're all facing these days. For if Q was to depart, that would definitely send the United Kingdom into a spiral from which we would probably never recover. I mean, we're already halfway there with our current political situation with Brexit and leaving the European Union. So one has to wonder what the bookies are saying on this. I have to admit that I'm not a betting man, so I haven't actually checked with the bookies on what they're doing. But her mother lived to a ripe old age. There's no indication at all that she won't do either. So I think we can possibly say that the adventures of Q will continue for probably at least another decade, if not two. And I think Ian is right to be perturbed and scared and under and feeling fluxed because yes, I think we probably all could be fluxed. Hopefully not for another 20 years, but we'll see.
I'm looking forward to becoming fluxed.
My question is,
Yes, Hannah.
my question is, Dave, is there some kind of American conspiracy actually? Because while both people in the United Kingdom and in Czechoslovakia, Czechia, these parts are familiar with Qs, you know, we have been standing in them forever, especially during the time of communism. The Americans strangely seem to have avoided Qs because they always have been standing in line. And I wonder now that we have learned about the true nature of Q, how comes that you've never been in a queue?
We wait in queues all the line here.
Yeah, well, I think we draw.
And how do
Americans draw the line at being in a queue, but they. are in a queue.
But Hannah, in the Czech language, do you even have the letter Q?
Of course we do. We have many Czech words starting with Q, like Quido, for example.
What does that mean? What is Quido?
That
What
means
is the translation?
Quido. It's a name.
It's a name?
I don't know. Are there any Quidos in Britain, Roger G?
We don't have Quidos. We have Quidco and Guido. We have. I wonder if it's the same name, but we spell it with a G over here rather than a Q. Again, hiding our Qdom in plain sight by changing the initial letter.
It might well be that, you know.
Well, I think the mystery of Q has not been solved yet, despite our intrepid.
But I have to thank our European friends for giving us a new insight into what is clearly a problem across the world, and something which we should bear in mind all the time. I would like to thank Roger G and Hannah Z, which seem quite poetic. They really do work well together. Hannah Z and Roger G. But thank you both very much for joining us on Paul and Ian Man Show. We look forward to hearing more from you in the future.
You know, maybe knowing that we had an underwear guy on, and this whole thing about Q, we should have called this show "Mind Your P's and Q's."
Well, that's the way it goes with improvised theatre. You always think of the good things sometime after the show's over. But there we go.
So should we take a little break and then come back?
We're going to take a very short break. We will clear this set, and we're going to do what we normally do to finish off. We're going to do a one-act play, totally improvised, and it will start in 2 or 3 minutes. Will that give us enough time? Could I just mention our studio director, our floor manager, our technician, who managed to get the show up and going with just 2 minutes to go before it was start time. And he did a fantastic job. We had all sorts of feedback in the studio. We had all sorts of little problems, and this is why we had to suddenly wear headsets and things like that. As you may have noticed from that last section, I didn't manage to rehearse with the equipment, and I don't even know how to put them on. I think, to my credit, I think I was given these. I don't think they're my size. But apart from that, we're going to be back in, let's say, 3 minutes. And why don't you try and find that PayPal button? Because you've learnt a lot of new things today, and it all has to be paid for. But we're back in 2 minutes, and we will just start straight into our one-act play. Okay, back briefly. Thank you. Don't touch that. Put it back.
I didn't take it. I'm just looking for 4-leaf clovers.
What?
I'm looking for 4-leaf clovers.
And what thinks you that you could have a 4-leaf clover from here?
It's just a place. So it's grass and there's clover here. You see all the clover? It's
Yes.
everywhere.
Yes.
And there's some 4-leaf clovers here.
And
And everybody wants a 4-leaf clover.
they do?
Yes.
Why?
It brings good luck, good fortune. You never know what it will bring you. The more you have, the more you'll get.
What?
You never heard of the luck of a 4-leaf clover?
No.
You've never heard of a 4-leaf
I
clover?
know it's some sort of Irish thing.
It's not an Irish thing.
What?
Everybody knows about it.
The Irish that have the 4-leaf clover?
Here's one right here.
And what are you going to get?
I don't know, but people want these.
What's luck got to do with anything?
It's got to do with everything.
No. If it had to do with everything, we'd walk through life.
Here's another one.
So you're going to get double the luck now, huh?
I don't know what the mathematics of it is, but I know the more you get, it couldn't hurt, right?
It's a thing. It's a concept. It's not reality. Okay? You think somebody, somebody's going to get. Do you know of anybody who got anything, any luck out
People
of?
have luck all the time.
Like what? Give me an
A
example.
friend of mine found a whole bucket load of 4-leaf clovers and she won the lottery.
Oh, you don't believe that nonsense.
She did. She
Yeah.
won the lottery. Another one.
Yeah.
This is one of the best spots to find 4-leaf clovers anywhere I've ever seen.
Then it's not luck.
It is because this is a special place.
How is it special?
Don't you believe in some places on Earth have energy supplied from somewhere that's more centered in that place than anywhere else?
Frankly, no.
You don't believe that.
No.
What do you believe?
I believe in the randomness of life.
Well, that's luck. Luck is random.
No, there's nothing going on there. There's nothing. Luck is not a thing. Luck is not a thing.
And
Luck
randomness-
is like religion. Somebody trying to explain something they can't.
I'm not
explain.
explaining it. It just happens.
That-
I don't worship these 4-leaf clovers.
Well, she found a bucket of 4-leaf clover.
She,
What happened to the schmuck who left the bucket there?
she has her own special bucket. She takes them and she puts them in plastic and she preserves them.
And she won the lottery.
And she won the lottery. She won $4.7 million.
And she's still looking for 4-leaf clover.
Sure, you never know how your luck will manifest itself. Here's another one.
How many you got there now?
22.
Yeah.
What do you have to do with this place?
I own it.
You own this whole place.
Yeah.
This estate.
Yes. I don't need luck.
It's a museum.
Yes.
I mean, nobody really owns it anymore.
Yeah,
Did your family
yeah.
own it?
My family donated and gave it to the nation.
So you don't own it anymore.
Well, we gave away all our luck.
I know how you made that luck. Too.
Well, what's that supposed to mean?
Wasn't it war profiteering?
My family.
Here's
were in-
another one.
My family were industrialists.
Right.
Okay, we gave away everything. This special patch, we gave it to the nation.
Yes. You gave it to the nation, and I'm here finding it's 4-leaf clover.
Yeah, okay, so you're benefiting from our war profits.
I'm not benefiting.
How's the luck in that?
I'm not benefiting it. You gave it away. It's owned by the state now. The state has its own thing with war profits.
Have you ever been lucky?
Have I ever been lucky?
Yeah.
Yes.
Example.
I was born.
That's just the randomness of life. It's not. Look, we all do not understand the sheer ephemeral nature of how we live. We just happen to be here. When we're children, we're always thinking, why me? Why is this like this? Why is my mom, and why is my dad, my dad? Why did my dad die when he was 12? Was that anybody's luck or anything like that?
Your dad was 12 when he died?
I was 12 when he died.
In the war?
No. He died of what you would call bad luck.
That's luck. Bad luck is as much luck as good luck. That's what the clovers try to mitigate.
Let me take a step back. You said that this was a special place.
For the clover.
Yes, but that's just the randomness of vegetation.
I think it's more than randomness.
Why?
Well, it has to do with the sun, the soil, the amount of water that's here, the other plants
All
around
of those, yes, that's why the vineyards of Bordeaux produce great claret.
It's not luck. It's
Well,
the way nature works.
Yeah, okay. So it's the way nature works. Then why do we imbue it with this promise of good fortune because this just happens to be there because of how nature works?
I think those people in Bordeaux think nature gave them good fortune.
Well, yes, but they worked it. They worked the land. They created something. What you're doing is you're walking around and picking up small bits of vegetation, sticking them in your pocket and saying, I'm going to have good luck. And it's done on the basis that a friend of yours won $4.2 million, $4.7 million on the lottery because she picked up a bucket of 4-leaf clovers.
Right. Have you ever wondered why is this clover have 4 leaves and most of them here have 3?
No, tell me.
I don't know. But it's different, right?
Well, I wondered about it in the same way that I wonder about the nature of life and who we are. You know, that somebody, we all slide down the birth channel into the world, slimy and bloody, and somebody cleans us up and then we get on with life. And you try and give it meaning by religion or by knotting your shirt in a certain way, by supporting people and wearing the same clothes and thinking. And these are ways in which we try and make meaning in life.
And the way your family made meaning in life was war profiteering, right?
I admit that. I admit that because I can't deny it. All right, but that's the thing that it was. That's the thing that
Why
it
are you
was.
even here today?
I don't have to justify myself to
I'm
you.
just curious.
Okay, be curious.
You just out for a walk, a stroll?
I like coming here.
Why? This whole place is a monument to conspicuous consumption.
What?
I mean, this is one of the largest estates ever.
Yes,
It's the-
okay.
it's the
Well, it
largest
happened to
private
be
home.
my home.
It's the largest private home in this
Yeah,
country.
yeah, I know. It happened to be my home, where I live.
But it's
And
not
you-
your home now.
No, it isn't, because we gave it away. We gave it to
You
the-
gave it away to avoid taxes.
Exactly, but we still gave it away. We didn't say, "Oh, let's try and make some more of it. Let's see what turns up. Let's see what luck we've got. Oh, things must turn around for us." No,
Well,
but
the truth is that things went south for your family, and they had to give it away.
yeah. Oh, and guess what? And we had the biggest four-leaf clover patch in the. I don't. You brandish it like it's something.
It
Okay.
is something.
It isn't. It's not what we. It's not what we are.
You know, it's not everybody that can spot four-leaf clovers. I bet if you searched around here, you wouldn't find one.
Well, maybe that's because I don't believe in them.
Well, that's life,
Yes, that's the randomness of life.
the randomness of life.
Yes, the randomness of life.
You're not very educated, are you?
I think I am.
Well, then you know that randomness is just a small part of a much bigger picture, right?
That's got nothing to do with education.
Well, you would have learned that.
Why would I have learned that?
It's in books.
It's in.
Like if you ever read or studied genetics, you know that randomness is just a part of genetics.
Not much of a part.
That's exactly right. Randomness is just a part of it. At least you know that.
Randomness, luck as you want it to be, could be genetic mutations.
Genetic mutations are not random.
But are they luck?
No,
What are they then?
they're a complex part of the way things work.
You know, this for you is a special place. Oh, and look, I'm picking up these. And here you are just trampling all over it, all over this vegetation, which you now think is luck.
People have been trampling over this for centuries.
Yes, and it has nothing to do how they live their lives. You have one person who got a windfall of a lot of money.
I don't see why you're so concerned that I'm picking four-leaf clovers from your family's previous estate.
I
You could be
admit
doing
that.
a lot worse.
I admit that response to you picking up that piece of vegetation just reminded me that I had no ownership anymore.
A lot of us have no ownership. Most of us have no ownership.
And some people don't have any luck.
That's right. That's why they need to.
You probably think, oh, his family had a lot of money. Oh, they're war profiteers. Oh, they had the biggest house in the nation. Oh, they had a wonderful life. Well, I don't feel any of that.
I never said they had a wonderful life.
Well, I suggested that that's what you might think.
No, I know that they might not have had a wonderful life, but they inflicted a lot of pain on other people. And that's a fact.
And is that where our bad luck comes from? Is it karma?
That has nothing to do with luck.
Is that karma? No, but our demise
Another one.
is our demise to do with the bad deeds that our family did in the past.
Possibly. I don't know.
Like the notion of karma?
No, I don't believe in karma.
You don't believe in
I
karma.
don't really believe in much of anything, to tell you the truth.
But what do you believe in then?
I don't know.
Four-leaf clover.
Science.
You believe in science. You believe in science, but you also believe in four-leaf clover.
I believe that four-leaf clovers are very rare. And if it's rare,
Well, you
it's
said
special.
this is a special place because, and there's loads of them. They're not
There's not
rare
loads
here.
of them. I mean, it's hard to find them. I just happen to be able to see them.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
people never see them.
You're sort of like a clairvoyant for.
I don't know what it is.
You picked up 8 or 9 now.
Right. I don't know what it is. I just know I can see them, but you could bring 25 people here and they wouldn't find one. Maybe they're not four-leaf clovers until I see them.
How would that work?
I don't know how it works, but it's possible, isn't it? You ever wonder about things like
No,
that?
and just because you say something, it doesn't make it possible. You've just said
But
something.
you believe in randomness. In randomness, anything's possible, right?
I don't believe in randomness. I know that randomness exists.
Okay.
It's just a thing.
That's what I said.
Okay, so what have you got out of? You've got 9 clovers in your pocket,
I
right?
probably got like 30.
All right, you keep picking them up. Okay, you're picking them up so nobody else can find them. So you've got all the luck in the world. Huh?
I have a lot of
Yeah,
luck in
is
finding
that
clovers.
any better that you're taking all the luck away from everybody else? That just in the same way that we war profited and we did not very nice things.
Well, at least you recognize that.
Do you recognize that in you?
That I did not very nice things.
That you may have not done very nice things?
I've probably done something in my life that was not very nice.
Like cornering the market of
I'm not
four-leaf
quartering the market. It's an untapped market that's everywhere.
Yes, and therefore it's not that rare. So why would you imbue it with luck?
I just like finding them. I think it makes me happy. What's wrong with that? I have something special. I can spot four-leaf clovers. I don't know why I'm picked out to do that or what it means.
And that becomes your source of happiness.
It's one thing that makes me happy.
Are you happy?
All the time?
Yes.
No, I'm not happy all the time.
Most of the time?
No, I don't know if I could say that. I'm happy when I come out here and I see four-leaf clovers. And I pick them and take them home, or sometimes I give them to people.
Maybe that's your luck.
Well,
Maybe that's the bounty that you get from the four-leaf clover, is that you get happiness out of it. Well, I don't. I haven't been happy since I was a little boy.
well, I'm sorry to hear that.
I know, and I'm not asking for your sympathy. I am just saying, you know, and you were right to question me why I said don't pick that up. I mean, it gave me some sense of the person who I was.
Who you were?
Yes,
You mean before you were 12?
yes,
Who were you?
I was a happy little boy.
Until your father passed away.
The therapist would say that's my problem. I'm
Well, I
angry
can
at my
understand.
father but
I can understand that.
yeah, I don't think that's it.
Well, there's a lot of reasons people
I've had
aren't
plenty
happy.
of opportunity to be happy, and I never am. And I suddenly am now at my age and trying to remember a time which is over 50, 60 years ago when I was last happy. And I look at my life and I say, what is it? And I got 60 years of experience and none of them seem to be about happiness. None of them seem to be about luck or about joy or about having something. I am just breathing in and breathing out and existing.
Well, that's all of us. I feel the same way a lot of the time. I mean,
And,
when
and
you think,
how do you feel? You feel the same way, or you experience life and saying like that, but how does it make you feel inside?
it sometimes makes me feel very unhappy. I mean, we're no different than any other creatures on this planet. I mean, we're gonna die sometime.
I don't, you know, oh, you're so educated. You went and you read in books that we're all going to die
Well,
sometime.
I'm just saying, we're not really all that different.
But we're all going to die sometime. What about if we die and we've done something before we die?
Well, that's great.
I don't feel I have.
Well, you have
I've
to
tried.
You have to keep searching.
No, searching. Searching like it comes upon you, like a lottery win. That's not that. You surely. I have no energy or impetus to do anything for anybody that would give me the satisfaction of having done it.
Oh, that's sad.
Yes, it is. And the closest I ever came to it was today, when I had a visceral response to you picking up there. You're a complete stranger to me. I don't know your name. I don't know where you've come from. I don't know what it's all about, but I had a visceral response to you picking that up, which threw me back to a time when I had a sense of ownership, and not just ownership of this grand place, but ownership of myself.
But think about what you just said. You had a visceral reaction to challenging me and my right to just be here and look on the ground.
And I've admitted that it was wrong of that me.
I don't understand that.
Well, nor do I. I don't understand this randomness of feeling. But having spent some time talking to you, I have been able to connect it to what was there that might have been the spur for my reaction to you. And all I know from it is it threw me back to a time when I was a happy little boy.
So when you were a happy little boy, did you used to just come to the park and roll around in the grass?
Oh, I had a nurse. She used to come. We used to play hide and seek in the grounds. We did all sorts of things. I remember days, you know that day that you get in sort of like February, when it's like a false spring and it's warm and everything, and you run around and trees are sprouting their leaves and flowers are starting to grow, and you run anywhere, you run everywhere headlong, and you run everywhere headlong, and you never fall, you never stumble, you just keep going and running in circles, and your laughter is like a spring brook just babbling away. And somebody calls back to you and says, Henry, don't go too far. And you don't think about not going too far because the world is yours. That's what happiness was then. And I didn't know anything about what created this place, which I thought was paradise, that it was built on the backs of people dying, of people making wars. I was walking on the mounds of dead people, running across them, and I still saw them as a verdant green of a pasture full of lucky shamrock, although I didn't know that at all. That was my life.
Well, that's a lot different than my life.
It's not a lot different.
No, it is a lot different.
Yeah. So?
We had nothing when I was growing up. I mean, we were lucky to have, a whole meal for dinner.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry for that, but you were happy in those times?
I can't say I was happy. I mean, we didn't have much, but we had a family, you know, and my dad tried to do the best he could, and my mother tried to do the best she could, and my brother and I helped out when we could, and we went to school. But I can't say it was totally happy. There were a lot of happy moments. In fact, the first time I found a four-leaf clover, I remember I was about 8 years old, and my mom took us to a park,
Uh-huh.
and we were just playing, and we were rolling around in the grass, wrestling, and we were tired, and I just rolled over, and I was looking, and I found a four-leaf clover.
And what significance, the first one you picked up, what significance was that to you?
I just showed my mom. I said, "Mom, look at this."
And
It's
what
four
did she
leaves.
say to you?
She says, "That's special.
That's
it's a
special.
four-leaf clover."
So the whole of this goes back to a happy time that you had with your mum when she told you something that you got more joy out of.
Right.
And you took it in whole, you didn't question it, and you haven't questioned it now.
Well, I don't question this. This kind of reminds me of that one time, but it led to other times. I mean, my mom said, "Look, see if you can find more of them." And I started looking, and I found one, and I found two, and I found three. And she started looking and couldn't find any. And my brother started looking, and then I found one here, one there, and they said, "You can see them. We can't see them."
And
it was just one special thing I had in my life, and I've
you were the best at it.
It wasn't the best.
No, but it was a success for you.
It wasn't. I didn't really look at it as a success. It was just something that I could do that other people couldn't do, and it gave me joy.
It gave you joy. And was that joy? How did it have any attendant luck?
Not really, except some of my friends, when I showed them how to look for them, and they found one or two. Like my friend who found the one and won the lottery, she only found one.
She only found one. So all you've been looking for has been the wrong ones.
No,
How old are you? Do you mind? Sorry, do you mind me asking?
I'm almost 70.
Well, we could have been contemporaries.
We could have.
We both have a similar experience of being happy little boys.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't totally unhappy. It was
No,
a
I
hard life.
understand you, but you.
I mean, we were grateful for what we had
Yeah.
because we knew other people didn't even have what we had.
Yeah, I know that now.
And you could go around complaining about things, but I saw how my parents never complained. They just, they just did what they could and tried to raise us so that we could.
Yes. I heard all that all the time, and I was happy all the time as a child. I had everything. I had a full stomach. I could buy, be given anything that I wanted, and at that age, it's a small horizon. You don't want much, but you could have all of it. And I never fought or had to fight for anything. It was just there.
But don't you think sometimes, like, it's the absence of something that makes you really feel? Like, I felt like I was happy because I knew what it was like not to be happy.
You're right. Again, I didn't know about my happiness until 60 70 years later, I know that I've never been happy, and I don't have any need for luck because I know it's not there.
Why don't you see if you can spot one? Don't give up.
This is useless. What am I doing down here?
Sometimes, when you're looking for something, you have to not look for it.
Yeah.
Remember those puzzles when you were a kid?
Hmm?
Those pictures and it said, find the owl, find the deer, find the mouse.
Oh, yeah, I like those.
Yeah, and this is the same thing. You have to just not look for them. You have to just,
Yeah. When you were a kid, you sort of put the book down and you walked away.
Right.
And so, like, you went and did something else, and then
right.
and then you came back
And your eyes focus differently.
yeah, and I've just done that and tried to manufacture my walking away and coming back, and my eyes are still focused in the same way. I'm not. Maybe it's these. Let me take off the sunglasses and put them in my pocket. No. Won't give up.
Don't press yourself, though. It just happened.
No. Leave me.
There you go.